Hey, Unball. You will come bring life more abundantly. Hey, Love Blake, good morning. Hey, Angie C. Hey, y'all. Happy day after Resurrection Day. Y'all, please tap. Y'all see that eye looking back at y'all? Please double tap it and let me know that you're in the room by giving me a like. I would appreciate it, honeys. I would. Child, I have had a long resurrection weekend. It was very emotional at some points. At some points, it was very funny. But at the end of the day, it's all about tradition, right? It's all about tradition, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. Y'all, please double tap that eye if you will. Hitting that like button. Help your girl get to as many likes as she can, right? So I did not feel like and let me know if y'all am I loud enough? Unbowed, Love Blake, Angie C. Am I loud enough? Could you guys hear me? Do I need to turn it up, turn it down? Just let me know, right? Because I'm on this. I didn't want to do the stream yard. I was lazy. I will admit. I was sitting here, drinking my coffee, looking at the news about the. I know I'm gonna talk about that. I'm glad you said that because yeah, absolutely. I don't like to talk. Hey, Queen Lady T. If you guys know, a lot of the times I won't say anything about people that have they say have people that have said about people passing away, and people be posting on the wall and giving their condolences and all of this and all that. That's that because transition is a personal thing for me. You know what I mean? And so I try to respect that when it comes to other people. But hey, just comfort zone. When I heard that Natasha Malam had passed away, that just hit me right there. That hit me like it hit me, almost like it hit me, when we spoke up and we gave our condolences to Uncle Claude about his wife passing away. I had been listening to Natasha Malam. Was one of the first ones I listened to. Hey, Food Junkie. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, Food Junkie. Thank you for putting it down there so I can remember. And I'm gonna talk about that next. But when it comes to Natasha Malam, she was one of the y'all double tap that eye looking back at you so y'all can give me a like button, right? She was one of the first people that I started listening to in the beef sector. And I love me some Natasha Malam because she would always talk about her Lorna Doones, honey, her Lorna Doones and her tea. I said, go, Miss Natasha, right? And so I just felt like she was very authentic and true to herself. And you could tell that she was a sweet person. That she would drag you, honey, if she had to, but she would rather not. And and she is for me, she was like an original beef sector content creator for me, because she was around when I got here. Much like people like Food Junkie, he was around when I got here. He was already here. And so I see her that way, and I just want to offer my condolences. And I am so happy now that she is in her spiritual body, and I hope that she is happy because they say when we reach the other shore, we won't have to cry no more. So whatever illness that she had, or for whatever reason she passed, I truly believe that she is now in her spiritual body because I felt like she has she has a sweet soul. It's just certain people that you could tell. I live in a when it comes to me and my personal relationship with the Most High Creator. um I realize that we are all born of sin, and because we are born of sin, I can never be all good or I can never be all bad. So I kind of walk in a gray area, right? And so, but I have a real, God has blessed me with my gift that He gave me was a strong sense of discernment, right? And so, for that reason, and we know that when it comes to our, I heard about the Pope this morning, R.I.P. to all those ago. When it comes to people, when I say I can see behind your eyes, it's not a good thing always, because I don't want to know what's behind your eyes, right? But because I have been given that gift, it just pretty much is what it is. And but I felt like she had a sweet soul, right? And so I just want to say rest in peace, Natasha Malam. Now I don't know if it's true or not, but they also mentioned Blue Wolf Phoenix passing away. Uh, and if he has in fact passed away, my condolences to him as well. And also, I seen that lady a couple of times in my chat. The lady's name was, I believe, B Town Hester. They said she passed away. People are coming up out of here, right? And God is taking His people away. You can be young, you can be old, you can be a brand new person, right? Never even stepping a foot on the ground in this earth, and He can take you away, right? If that's His will, because at the end of the day, no matter what man does, He always has the final say, especially when it comes to our soul, right? And so, hey, Dr. Soapy. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to say the little part, but my condolences to Natasha Malam, because I really do feel like she's in her heavenly body right now. She don't have to cry no more. And she up there eating her Lorna Dooms, getting her whole life, okay? So, yeah. Yeah, I mentioned Blue Wolf Phoenix, Blood Blake. I just said that, baby. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I heard, but I want to offer up my condolences also. Yeah, absolutely. To all those that have passed. And as y'all double tap that eye looking back at you, okay? Double tap that eye, child. And give your girl a like, if you will. Food Junkie said, I am deeply spiritual and not very religious myself. Absolutely. That's why I say I hear what you don't say. Yes, absolutely. And see what you don't show. Amen. And that's why I fall back. Amen, Food Junkie. Amen. 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 But you fall back, but I try to drop a gem or two. A lot of times folks don't pick it up, but it's always a gem. It might be a drag in the midst of the gem, or it might be a drag or a roast or a gag wrapped around the gem, but it's still a gem nevertheless. And that's why I say I walk in the gray area. That's why I can come on here and talk to you about something that I'm going to talk about later on. And it's about the unveiling. And I was reminded of the unveiling yesterday in church. Hey, Stab Batista, how you doing? And we're going to talk about that a little bit, but I just want to say my condolences. And also, they say Pope Francis passed away. I am not a big fan of the Catholic Church. Um, mm, 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 mm. But as far as a human being, my condolences to the Pope as well. But I am not. I have a lot of issues when it comes to the beliefs of the Catholic Church, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But he is a son of the Most High Creator, and for that I say, uh, my condolences or whatever, right? So anyway, because I am a missionary Baptist, so let's talk about that real quick, right? Y'all, please hit that eye looking back at your channel and give me a like if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much, right? Dr. Soapy said the unveil. Oh, thank you, Dr. Soapy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because, child, I needed that, right? Because I'll go off the rail. I'm glad you put it down because I forgot that quick, right? And so I want to say, so I got my condolences out the way. And so, let's talk about before we get to the unveiling. Y'all know I got to do it. Let me go and get this out the way, right? Before I get to Treecy and the Reverend Dr. Demon, okay? And so, I saw a bit, and I say rough for a reason. Check it out, pay attention, right? I saw a bit of ugly beef sector history, right? In my opinion. So you know that James, aka Treasure Lane, aka Boy TV, aka Mother, and I have to give all this also known as because we have a lot of new people around here. So, honey, he had. I don't know who brought it up, but I was not around for, or I hate Gemini 75, or I didn't pay attention to this beauty contest. That I'm assuming Mother did years ago. I liked how the Pope shared J.D. Vance in the administration because he passed. Oh, wow. And don't you find it interesting that he passed the day after the resurrection of Christ? There's a lot of symbolism going on right now. That's why we're going to talk about the unveiling. You know what I mean? And I also found it interesting how people were saying Happy Resurrection Day as well as Happy 420 Day. That is symbolism. That is gray area for me, and that's another reason why I want to talk about the unveiling. Right? Don't let me forget. Right? And so I don't. I wish I could. Is there a way I can highlight Dr. Soapy's comment on my title and keep it up, or can you not do that? Um, on the screen right here. Let me try. Let me see. Let me tap it and see what I can do. Oh, it says I can pin the message. Okay, so I pinned it. Okay. Oh, so maybe I can keep seeing it at the bottom. Okay, so if I just lift the thing, I can read my title. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm trying to learn this. I'm trying to learn this. What do you call it? This thing right here, the thing that we're doing. What do you call it? Oh, child, I forgot what I was this YouTube streaming. I'm gonna call it that, child. I don't forgot what I called it. But anyway, thank you, Dr. Soapy. You can see I pinned it. Thank y'all. Yes, at the bottom right here. So anytime I need to remind myself of the title, I can just click those three buttons at the bottom. Hey, TT Speaks. Thank you again, Dr. Soapy. Happy Monday, Simply Me. Happy Monday, everybody, CEO Boss Lady. If y'all came in late, please be part of the replay game when the video ends because I gave my condolences to some of our beef sector content creators that have, or subscribers that have gone on to glory and they are now in their spiritual bodies. And so that is a good thing. That is a celebration, right? And so anyway, what was I? Oh, I saw, we talking about I saw a bit of ugly beef. So let me be messy for a minute. Let me be messy. Let me be messy. Okay, y'all remember that gray area I was talking to you about? Now, this part of that gray area, right? So, I didn't know. Now, I had been hearing Ness and Treasure Lane talk about this beauty contest, right? So Treasure Lane put up a picture from the beauty contest, right? He did a little short, posted a little short video about the beauty contest, right? And he showed the contestants, right? And I didn't know until I seen this picture what the contention was, what it was that, in my opinion, Ness didn't appreciate about this beauty contest, right? Y'all please tap that eye that you're looking at twice and give your girl a like button on this day after Resurrection Monday, okay? So anyway, back to Missy, right? So he posts this picture of it, right? And the contestants, the two of the contestants that I realized, I recognized, and I didn't know any of the other ladies. And like I said, I wasn't around or did not pay attention to this beauty makeup challenge, because I don't, child, I can't see everything, right? And I be going in and out, especially back then, right? So the picture I had heard about, I had heard him talking about. Now I understand what the contention is in my mind, right? So it was Fifi Beauty up there right beside Ness, right? And so I seen the picture. I was like, wow, interesting, right? And I was like, it's a lot of filters going on. Now, mind you, I'm being messy. Right, so Treasure Lane posted that. See, sometimes people should not talk so much. People should not act like they're 2.0 if they've been around forever, right? This is my opinion. Y'all please double tap that eye, give your girl a like on the video. Let's get it out there, right? So Dr. Soapy said, yep. So Fifi TV, beautiful Fifi TV, beautiful photo, was beside Ness, right? I said, oh, is this what Ness's bone of contention is with Treasure Lane? Because it's her picture, it's her photo, right? And so she was right beside Fifi TV, and it was, I guess the makeup challenge was, ready to go out or something like that, enjoy evening out or something like that, right? So, honey, I saw Fifi TV, beautiful, absolutely a night on the town ready. I saw Ness. And all I got to say is, hey, Red Treasure, and I don't mean no harm, and just a little bit of shade, okay? But Ness, it either you bleaching your skin, girl, or you putting makeup on your face to make yourself be a couple of shades lighter. Because when it comes to melanin, I will say that you are deeply melanated. In that photo of you are running hand in hand with the Miss O, TMO, when it comes to being deeply melanated. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, y'all please share the video. Please like and share the video. Thank you, Dr. Soap Child. Dr. Soap is here for me today, y'all. Right? And so I was like, oh, interesting. No one. So is this the bone of contention? Right? Okay, so saw the photo and I went on. And then I heard this. I don't know if she was on her panel or somebody else's panel, because y'all know I was trying to go in and out. I had a lot to do this weekend, right? So she was talking about Fifi TV is old, and she just 29 and she was 24 back then. And I thank you, Dr. Soapy. If you guys would like to show your girl some love, please feel free to hit that super chat or that what do you call it? That cash app. $ Orca Speaks. Thank you, Dr. Soapy. I even be forgetting that, right? And I don't even do and they be doing that, what do you call that thing? That, the money, the gold thing. China, nobody got time for all that, right? Hey, the Beef Sector Podcast. The contest and aftermath is when I realized the amount of delusion in this sector. Is that right, Food Junkie? Goals, yeah, thank you, Dr. Soapy. Goals. Dr. Soapy helping me this morning. I got so much stuff going on in my mind. I got so much stuff to do this week. I would not believe it, and I ain't even gonna burden you with it, right? But I'm trying to talk as fast as I can before they start calling my phone, okay? It looked like Tamar Braxton versus John Amos in the wheel. Grace Blood, child. She need to be for real. Child delusion is running wild around this sector. Right. So anyway, hey, pretty girl. Red Treasure. Hey, everybody. Y'all, please tap that double eye. Please tap that eye that's looking back at you. Okay, because I see you, you see me. Please tap that double eye. Give the girl a like. Please, please share the video. Right? So anyway, I seen that picture and I heard Ness saying something about Fifi TV was old and she was 24 at the time and she this, that, and the other. Now, now here's my thing. Now, y'all know I'm being messy, right? I don't mean no harm, but I'm being messy. So you telling me, which we know is, I don't know why that girl is stuck on saying that she's 29. She's been 29 now for about a couple of years, which I don't even think Fifi TV is her elder, is older than her. I think that her and Fifi TV are in the same era, right? And so not her elder, but her what is the word I'm looking for? Uh Her associate. I can't think of the word right now. Anyway, I don't even know why she harp. I think that she be harping on age and not wanting to get old. Fifi in her 50s. Now let me tell you something about that. If Fifi is now in her 50s and that's her period, thank you, Gemini. Thank y'all for helping me this morning, child. If Fifi is now in her 50s and that video was about 4 or 5 years old and this is 29, baby, that's a hard 29, okay? Because Fifi is beautiful. So if Fifi was in her, I guess, 45 or something like that and they're supposed to be 24, baby, you ought not say that, okay? You ought not say that. You ought not bring up age, okay? Because she making you look real bad if you 24 and she 40 something and you looking like that and she was looking like she was. So age is not the thing to be bringing up, right? So, but I also think she's stuck on age because she pretty much wasted her youth. You know what I mean? And I think she realizes that she wasted her youth, right? She want to walk it back. But honey, ain't no walking it back, right? And like I said, something else that I noticed, if y'all, I got a product tag bag up. I don't know if y'all can see it or not because I'm on this thing right here. But the product tag bag has some Fenty makeup, a lot of Fenty makeup, right? Gotta be Gemini. Gotta be hitting on 40s door. Probably 40 already. Okay, child. Because, baby, it ain't no way. Okay, child. I got a product tag bag up. If y'all check it out, they have got some Fenty makeup products in there. Y'all know I'm really not a makeup girl. I can do the lip gloss. If I'm going to an event like yesterday, I have to get my makeup done for me because I'm really not a makeup girl, never have been. You know what I mean? And you can call me ugly, but you can't say my skin is blemished at all, okay? Look at the pic, all right? Call me ugly, call me long head, bald headed, short, natural hair, but you can't say my skin is blemished, all right? Okay, moving right along, right? So, yeah, I saw that picture and I was like, oh, not only is she running a race with TMO, also she gotta be either bleaching her skin or putting on some powerful filters. And I know she done learned how to contour that makeup to make her skin look brighter. Ain't no telling how many layers that she putting on. Right. And I was like, wow, right? No one and I was wondering why when she was doing those makeup videos it took her so long to put on her makeup, right? And I was like, child, but then you got Fifi TV over there looking fresh and natural and beautiful, right? Her hair was on point. You know, her makeup was on point, just beautiful. And then you had this beside her looking all unsure and insecure. That lip was hanging down. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying she was looking ugly. I'm just saying you was not looking like Fifi TV. So is that the real problem that you have with Treasure, that beauty contest, that makeup contest challenge or whatever? Because nobody, demanded that you join it or whatever. Child, I'm just asking for a friend. That's what I was wanting to know. But as far as her calling Fifi TV old, child, it don't even matter. You should not say that because no matter how old Fifi TV is, she look better than you. Okay. Child, I don't think her picture was ugly at all. No, I didn't say her picture was ugly. I'm just saying she is the one that's upset about her picture. Not none of us, right? She is the one insecure about her being beside Fifi TV. Because Fifi TV didn't call her old, she called Fifi TV old, right? And so that's what I'm commenting on, Jill. You know, this is 29, child. She is also an ex truck stop hooking up. Woo! I heard that, right? So anyway, whoo, child. That was my messy, right? I seen that. So I had to mention that. I found it very interesting. Like I said, I wanted to mention that piece of history because I had not seen that, right? I had not seen it, and I didn't know that that was the bone of contention allegedly between her and Treasure Lane. Hey, True Black. Tisha said, I'm 51 in season. I know that's right, Tisha, girl. What you said, child? Ain't nobody worried about these folks. But anyway, y'all should have seen me yesterday. Woo! Y'all would have been proud of you, girl. But it's all about tradition, baby. It's all about tradition, right? In respect to the Most High Creator, right? So anyway, hey, Kenna, how you doing? I am so happy to. Oh, thank you, Kenna. Y'all, please tap that eye that's looking back at you twice and hit that like button. We got 47 likes. Is what I see on the screen. 139 people in here. Can we please, if you will, tap it, real quick. Tap that eye looking back at you so we can get to 100 likes. It helps the video get out. Thank y'all so much, right? Child, they think me and my kids siblings. Right, Tisa. And then some of these girls, they call them young women these days. They've lived such hard lives. You know what I mean? They are unkept. They are unseasoned. And they are unkempt as well. And so it's just hard. They be living a hard knock life, okay? They're a hard knock life, okay? It's unfortunate. I'm going to have to put it that way. They sure do can or don't take care of themselves. It's just real unfortunate, okay? Very hard looking, very hard looking. Like they done had a hard life, okay? Oh, I be like, Lord have mercy, really? This what we doing? Child, but them the age, that's the age of the crack babies, right? This new generation that we see this uncaring and unfeeling and unsympathetic. I think that they were raised in a crack era, right? And it's unfortunate, right? I look like their child. Now I don't look like nobody's daughter, but I look good for my age. I will say that, can okay? I don't care what they say on here. I know what I see, and it don't matter what nobody else say. Okay, I think it's all the drug, right? The drugs and the they always talking about smoking the marijuana because they was praising the 420 and the resurrection, and there was a bit of duality, right? And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And and they don't fear the Most High Creator and all of this and all of that. Some of them do and a lot of them don't. And part of that and a lot of that is because of the church. And also a lot of that, and we're gonna get to that in a minute, is because of the way that they were raised or were not raised. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't even believe in the Most High Creator, right? And so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? It makes me wonder what they are going to look like. And thank you. You are absolutely right, Kenneth. It's unfortunate. I know that's right, Tisa. It's a mess. It really does something to you. You know. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. I heard that, Grace Blood. Absolutely a lack of education, child. They believe in nothing, which is, yeah, absolutely. They believe in nothing, which is dangerous. Okay, they don't believe in nothing but mess. Okay, and if they can't see it on this computer screen, then they absolutely don't believe it, right? And that's why we're gonna talk about the unveiling a little bit too, right? And so anyway, and it's all a plan, right? But anyway, so that was my messy. Now let me go to Treecy and Jay Wilson real fast. Reverend Doctor, what is it? They said Reverend Doctor Pastor Jay Wilson or whatever. So anyway, I'm glad Treecy, I am glad you did not show up up at that church yesterday. Thank you so much for not showing up. I thank you for not giving the Reverend Dr. Pastor Demon content, because he's saying the law is for the lawless out of one side of his mouth, and they waiting for your girl out of that. Then you go to the other side of his mouth, and I think he was wanting you to show up for content, child. And I really think he was upset, child, because you didn't show up. All right, I'm just gonna have to keep it a buck, right? Because we know if that man don't do nothing, he gonna chase that dollar, right? He gonna chase that dollar and his newfangled, I don't watch nobody, but I watch everybody. And I was going through his videos. How many times did he go live yesterday on Resurrection Sunday? I said that demon can't even respect the Most High's rising, right? He can't, he got Reverend Doctor in front of his name, but you can't even respect the sanctity of the day. I said, will you look at this right here? I said, this is very interesting. Did y'all notice that? Because I went back and counted, okay? Because I knew he was going to go live several times yesterday, whether Treecy showed up to church or not. You know what I mean? He had him some content, right? So, right, I knew he tried to act like he wasn't mad, but he wasn't mad. So Treecy pretty much trolled him into infinity, and he was upset because she didn't show up, right? Because, honey, he thought for sure he was going to have him something to talk about, right? And child, I said, and they say he is the chubby pastor. They say, now I'm not going to lie, I seen a photo, and that ain't no 200 something pounds. Jay Wilson, you look like a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking around. You have out eaten the Ozempic, honey. Okay, now I don't know what you talking about. You don't need to get on here speaking about nobody looks or nobody weight or nobody nothing. It looked like your stomach is touching the bottom of your steering wheel, which means you can't talk about nobody. Okay, Joe Wilson. And y'all double tap that eye looking back at y'all, right? Because she really looking back at y'all this morning, okay? Double tap that eye, giving me a like, signifying a like, and please do the church a favor and share the video, okay? So anyway, but I'm glad Treecy did not show up, China Ozepic and all those weight loss cures or timber. That's right, Kendall. We talked about that the other day. I don't know if it was in my chat, Kendall, but yeah. And scary. I wish I would take one of them shots. No, ma'am. Not for me. Dr. Soapy. Bless you, girl. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Soapy. Child, I need Dr. Soapy, child. When he be on, okay? But look, like I said, Tracy, I'm glad you didn't show up. I'm glad you went and did what you did. Tracy, the best thing I liked about your video yesterday is that you got a good little kiki, and also I loved your hair. I love those locks. They are so cute on you. They are very full. They are beautiful. I like those locks on you, Tracy. I do. And thank you for not going to that church. For whatever reason you didn't go, thank you for not going. Because he really, at the bottom of his heart and in the depths of his soul, yes, Lord, he wanted you to go for content, okay? Hey, Corinne, because what he can't do is pass up a coin. But I heard he got some good coin anyway, so he good, you know. You have to do the work and not let the. That's right, Jill. I agree. Yes, ma'am. We made changes around here, years ago, Jill. Okay, Because neither one of us ain't ready to go nowhere. We got too much to do, okay? That eye is eyeing. I know, right? You like it as always, Corrine, right? That's why I keep it on the screen whenever I do these vertical lives, because it is perfect for a vertical live, in my opinion. I really, y'all like that eye look at, hit the one. If y'all like that eye looking back at y'all, it's just like in my mind, I'm looking back at everybody I'm talking to, okay? That's why she always right there when I do these vertical lives. I really like that eye looking back at you with that pipe in her mouth. You know, that in that nomadic word. Okay, that's a nomadic woman, y'all. That's a nomadic, deeply melanated older woman full of wisdom. Okay, that's why I like her. Right. Thank you, Dr. Soap. Put the church on high alert for nothing. Right, Dr. Soap. Child. I am so glad she did not go to. Me too. You know what I mean? I told her to stay her butt home and cook when she was saying she was going. I'm glad. I don't think Treecy really. I think at first she was really, really angry with the Reverend Dr. Pastor Demon. And I think that she contemplated going, but I am glad that, common sense stepped in and she did not go. Because ain't nobody trying to go to jail for no demon to have content, okay? That would not make sense, in my opinion. Now, I heard, that some people was, kind of speculating that she may have gone. Now, I heard her say that she did not go because her boyfriend had something else planned for her or something like that. But for whatever reason, I'm glad she didn't go, right? Some do the most of coins. You got that right. That eye saying, did you hit the like button? Come on, Corey. That's what that eye said. Y'all, that eye said, did you double tap that eye and hit that like button? Amen. But I'm glad she didn't go. I'm glad you didn't give Reverend Dr. Demon content, Treecy. Good for you. You got your good little troll. It was good content. A lot of people, they probably never had. So, okay, Jill, they probably had, when it comes to that little church, they say it's a small congregation, but I ain't no telling what the online congregation was like yesterday, child, because I heard it was a broadcast on Facebook, and ain't no telling what the congregation looked like online. They probably didn't know what was going on, child. Okay. They probably never had so many people on Facebook watching them live in their life. Okay. Right. Only 62 lives. We working on it, child. We working on it, child. We working on it. We need 40 or 39, 40 more till we get to that 100, child. Can y'all help me? Can y'all help me? I'm just asking for a like. It's free. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. So that happened. So he didn't get to get his content, but he made content anyway, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? All right, it is what it is. And then I listened to him a little bit, and and I'm glad I just seen that, by the way. And he said everybody talking about him, cause honey, you go live 11 times a day, okay? Uh, so what do you think people gonna do? But he don't listen to nobody, but he know that everybody talking about him. Uh, okay, all right. It does wonders for his channel because he's changed his content. Now he want to get up. He want everybody to get up and bring up whoever it is that he been looking at, so he can throw shade, so that they can talk about what they've said about him when the whole time he done heard it anyway. Child, it's just really weird. It's narcissistic. The commentary is ego driven, or misdirected, ego driven. He hollering these people. Oh, honey, you are the lesser than these people because you are a demon. Okay, in my opinion. But it is what it is. It's entertainment. It's content. People gonna watch it. People gonna talk about it. Nobody care if you look at them or not. Okay, you the most. You look at the B sector less than I do. Let you tell it, but you the one got all the content. You the one get. You got the heads up on everything. I'm the one be missing some stuff. Okay. In my opinion, I'm just saying. So anyway, that happened. I'm glad she didn't go, but I heard it looked good, and I hope she had fun. Speaking of Easter, it was real special. Now, I continue the traditions that I was raised up with for a reason, right? And the reason why I continue the traditions that I was raised up in is because of something that Doctor said earlier. And Dr. Soapy said earlier that they don't believe in nothing, talking about the young people, and that's a scary situation. And I absolutely agree with that, Dr. Soapy, which is why I continue this tradition in my family. Do I go to church every Sunday? No. But do I keep up the traditions of my elders? Yes, absolutely, I do. Okay? So my whole family, of course, we trotted ourselves on down to the block Missionary Baptist Church, okay, because we were missionary Baptists. It was very special yesterday. The pastor, of course, every year they have a altar call for the graduates. And because when it comes to being a part of a missionary Baptist church, we are very, 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 we have a very strong belief system as it pertains to education, right? Education is a foremost, is an upfront. For us, when it comes to missionary Baptist church, education is key. And education is the key to everything, right? So this is the kind of church I was raised up in. And so, like I said, they called the seniors to the front. It was very special. This year hadn't had that happen in my family since my nieces and nephews. Now I'm on my great nieces and nephews, but I have a nephew. I told you guys that is graduating this year. He got called to an altar. He had a couple of friends, a couple of his teammates with him, and they were asked to come to the altar, as well, even though they weren't members of the church. You know what I mean? And because these young folks, they don't. We were made to go to church every Sunday. Okay, rain, sleet, snow, it don't matter. And when you got grown, it don't matter if you went out the Saturday night before. You better, and if you even if you're still a little drunk, you better be rolling yourself in church. Okay, on Sunday morning, or cause you didn't want to hear my grandmama. Okay, cause she would talk about it for a whole week to make sure that you bring your butt there the next Sunday. All right. And then if you bring yourself there the next Sunday, she's still talking about the Sunday you didn't show up. That's how we grew up, right? So, but we don't do our young folks like that. But we still keep up to the tradition. We still have our little outfits, especially the little ones, you know. And so we the we only got two. There's three that's really into the Easter egg hunt thing. My 11-year-old. Then we got a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. So we did the fill the candy, fill the little plastic head, the little plastic eggs with the candy on the inside, and they went Easter egg hunting in the back of the church out with all the other kids and everything and all of this and all of that. So that was exciting. So we had the Easter egg hunt for the babies, and then we had the altar call for the seniors. It wasn't a dry eye in the house, and I understood, especially in this time. The hubby showed up, my nephew's father and stepfather showed up, of course his mom, and just all of us, right? Because we know he was going to be called to the altar, and it was special. And there was no dry eye in the house, because it just wasn't only him and his friends, because there was a covering by our pastor put over these young people that are going out into the world. And I truly believe in things, spiritual things, and those natures, right? So, baby, when they put that covering over them, I was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, Most High Creator. And it happened to fall on, like I said, on Easter. So it was very special. And like I said, I will continue the traditions that my elders taught me, because traditions matter, especially in this time what Dr. Soapy was talking about. These young folks don't believe in nothing, and they don't know they don't even know how to. They really don't even understand the concept of how powerful the resurrection of Jesus the Christ is, right? And it's okay to walk in a gray area, as long as you recognize that, as long as you, in my opinion, believe and know who to turn to, in your time of storm, because everybody has to walk their own spiritual journey. But in order for you to even realize that you are walking on a spiritual journey, you have to believe and, or even consider that there is a spiritual journey that you're walking on. And unfortunately, these days, some of these kids don't even realize that, and that's scary. Like Dr. Soapy said, because they believe in nothing. Okay, and that is scary, and that is how your soul is easily snatched up from you, right? They want to sell their soul for material things, okay? For material things, right? And so that's unfortunate for me. unfortunate to me, right? So that happened yesterday. And also, when we came home, of course, I had cooked the night before. Come to find, hey, OG Beauty, come to find out, I had cooked the night before, but my hubby, and these grown kids and the men felt like they wanted to grill because it was 80 something degrees yesterday. So they slapped some meat on the grill and all of this and all that. It was a good day all in all, right? And so yeah, I just want to talk about that. What is that? I believe I got everything else, but the unveiling. Now that's leading me to the first thing on the list, and I'll let y'all go, right? Because a lot of people have gone live, and that's fine. Y'all, I got 70 likes. Can y'all please give me the 30 more likes so y'all get out of here? Because I know other people have gone live, and pretty much a lot of people don't like this conversation. But let me talk about it real fast, right? So yesterday, also when we was in church, the pastor was talking about, oh, and the pastor tried to son me, try to son your girl. But anyway, it's a conversation for another day. And so I made some dressing, chicken, spaghetti, baked chicken, and greens. That sounds delicious, OG Beauty. So let's talk about the unveiling real fast, right? Let's be real for a minute, right? So the pastor was talking about yesterday. We are living. Y'all know I've said this too. That we are living, in my opinion, in the time of the Book of Revelations, right? I truly believe that the four horsemen are galloping. I don't know if they're riding yet, but I truly believe that they are galloping, right? I don't know if the four seals that they talk about in the Book of Revelation. Now people also got to realize that when it comes to, I've talked about the book of Revelations before, and we know that it is a book filled with spiritual symbolism, right? It's about spiritual warfare. It's about belief. It's about unbelief. It's about Christ. It's about the Antichrist. It's about the end times. It's about what we're going to go through before we get to the end times, right? And so the pastor was talking about that, right? And so, one thing that he mentioned, though, that I haven't talked about when I talked about the book of Revelations online was the unveiling, right? Now, I don't know if you guys noticed what y'all saw my thumbnail, right? And on my thumbnail, there is a middle-aged, very melanated, beautiful woman in a red dress, which signifies the blood, but she's got a veil. She's done lifted a veil over her face, right? And so the pastor was talking about the unveiling and what the unveiling mean real quick, and I ain't trying to bog y'all down with this. I need to do a whole other video about this, but I say I'm gonna talk about it on here, right? One and done, right? Because some of my people really like to hear this and they understand where I'm coming from with this, right? Because some of us actually know how to read. Believe that or not, and can critically think about a situation, right? And y'all know anytime I'm talking about scripture or the Bible, this is my understanding. And I ask you to go, seek your own understanding, right? But when I'm talking about scripture or anything pertaining to spirituality or religion, it is from a personal standpoint, right? And so, but I appreciate you guys listening to my, what I think about it, right? So anyway, the reason why the thumbnail is like that is because of about the unveiling, and the pastor was talking about when it comes to the word apocalypse, it's actually a Greek word, and it mean and the Greek term for it is apocalypsis or something like that, which means the unveiling or an unveiling, right? And we know as it pertains to the book of Revelation, as it pertains to John's dream of the book of Revelation, he has got a lot of religious symbolism. He is telling us what's going go on in the end times, right? We know how we know how the story ends, right? But these are his visions, right? And so, in one of his visions, he's talking about the four horsemen, and we know the four horsemen symbolizes the judgment that the Most High is placing on this earth. When it comes to the white horseman, some people think the white horseman is Jesus Christ because is on a white horse with a sword, because we know he's coming back as a lion and not as a lamb, right? Next time. And some people think that is the Antichrist riding on that horse, mimicking, Jesus Christ, second coming, right? And then when it comes to the pale horse, it's death. The red horse represents blood. What is the other horse? The It's the red horse, the white horse, the pale horse, and the black horse. Anyway, those are the judgments based upon the earth, right? In my opinion. And after that, and they are riding after the seal has been broken, right? So anyway, we was talking about that, and they were talking about the fact that there is a unveiling. And in my opinion, the thing that the pastor didn't talk about, that I was side eyeing Beyonce because she took pictures riding horses that were the, oh really, I didn't think about that, OG Beauty. Oh wow. Can y'all double tap the screen? If y'all don't mind, we got 80 likes according to Dr. Soapy, and we need only 20 more likes to get me to 100 likes, y'all. I would appreciate it so much if y'all could help your girl out, because there are still 100 people in here so far, right? And so, anyway, also, but the thing he didn't talk about, I wanted him to go deeper, hey, soul sister, into the part about the unveiling, right? And so the reason why I want him to go deeper about the unveiling, and there is no mention of a unveiling in the book of Revelations. That term is not used. The term apocalypse is used, but the term the unveiling is not used, right? And so I wanted him to go deeper into that, in my opinion, because for me, the unveiling signifies when it comes to Christians and our walk, we know that if we believe in our Bible, hey, Dr. Creole, I'm glad you're in here. So, we know that sometimes our spiritual eyes have been blinded, right? And what I mean by that, everybody has their own personal walk, and the Most High may not be ready for you to see some things, right? And so, all okay. Let me delete this. Delete what, Miss Creole? And so, uh, when our spiritual eyes sometimes can be blinded, right? So we all don't see the same things, right? And I know some people think it's crazy or think you're just being flip or funny when you're calling some of these people that you're seeing in either in the world because of their actions, or because if you have a deep discernment like I do, you recognize that they are demons, right? And that is part of your spiritual eye awakening, right? And I'll be the first to tell you that my spiritual eye is not always awakening, but the older I get, the more discerning, the more stronger my discernment gets, right? And so, but I've had a discerning spirit, recognize my discernment, um, since I was in my 30s, right? And so anyway, I want them to go in more in depth about the unveiling and the spiritual eye, your spiritual eyes being opened, because I believe that is part of the unveiling. Part of the unveiling is for you to see the world, truly see that the world that you are living in, right? Kind of like y'all remember the Matrix movies, right? Y'all remember those Matrix movies, which I love. Was written by a black woman. They tried to take it away from her, and they had to sue. She had to sue, to get the money she was owed for them making movies out of her book, right? And so, and I'm thinking about the Matrix, and I always revert back to that, is because I feel like that's kind of an unveiling, right? That's kind of a prophetic movie. Like, you know how we used to have all those movies about, contagions and all of this and all that, and all those movies about the what do you call it, the viruses wiping out of people, and all of these and all of that. That was it's kind of like a book filled with prophecy, in my opinion, right? Because if you look at the Matrix, you would realize that it's got a lot of religious symbology in it, and it's no wonder because you have a black woman that wrote it, right? And so, hey, soul sister, if I didn't say it, and Doctor, I know I said Dr. Creole, but I'm saying hey again in case I didn't, right? Y'all forgive me, right? So, I wanted him to go into that unveiling part because I think that a lot of people's eyes are being awakened, right? I think that the church is being awakened, the true church. I'm not talking about these churches that are filled with demons. Not all churches are, but a lot of them are filled with demons because they go for anything. They are prosperity preaching. They want to say that everything, even if it's in the Bible and the Bible speaks against it, they want to make it seem like it's all right, and whatnot. They want to skew your reality. In my opinion, they want to keep that veil over your face because they don't want you to see the true church. They don't want you to make a true choice, because one thing that God gives us is free will, right? Good or bad, whatever's going on in the world, He gives us free will, right? Now, if your eyes have been widely opened, the veil has been removed, and you see what's really going on in this world, you choose one way or the other, right? You choose to walk with God, the Most High Creator, or you choose to walk the other way with the ungodly, right? And so I feel like now is a heavy time of demons. That's why I felt the duality yesterday when they kept saying Happy Resurrection Day and Happy 420 Day. It was duality, right? So you had, I feel like a lot of these young people was more worried about Happy 420 Day, okay? Like I really do, right? Miss O, you can say hi. It's me. Oh, thank you, soul sister, right? And so I didn't want to leave anybody out. And so, you know, as it comes to when it comes to the symbolism of 420 versus Happy Resurrection Day, like I feel like a lot of these young people, especially a lot of these younger people online, were more excited about 420 Day, right? And then isn't it interesting that it fell on the Resurrection Day, right? So there's duality, right? And so, but I just won't. I don't think that for some people they don't realize that they are in spiritual warfare. They are in a fight for their very souls, and that's unfortunate to me, especially young people, right? Because you're giving your soul away when you're listening to some of this music. When you looking at some of these shows, I talked about Coachella last week, and that lady Gaga did a whole demonic ritual on stage. Her and that Doja Cat chick did a whole ritual on stage to the point where I couldn't watch it all. I didn't want to watch it on my screen. I was like, oh my goodness, and they were singing along with the ritual and all of this and all of that. Oh no, no problem, Creole. They were singing along with the ritual and all of this and all that, right? So then you got people like the Lil Nas X and all these little demonic people going around, and they are following them via their music, and they don't even realize that what they're doing is because they don't have a foundation, right? And because they don't have a foundation, casting spells, not even realizing it, Dr. Soap, because words are powerful and music is even more powerful, right? Casting spells and not even realizing it, speaking it over their life, not even realizing it, right? And so it's because they don't know the difference, because they don't have a foundation, right? And so I was thinking about that when those young people went to the altar, and they had a covering placed on them. Like I said, my nephew is, we steeped in tradition in this family, and going to church is one of them. Do we do it all the time? No. But they know that in my house and in this family, we serve the Most High Creator first and foremost, right? And we live in a gray area. You're not supposed to be perfect. We are all born in sin and we gonna die sin, but we still have a choice, right? And which is, as it comes to our personal relationship in God, to have a personal relationship with the Most High Creator, you first have to recognize and admit, in your heart and in your mind and in your body and soul, that there is actually a Most High Creator. Okay, and He is the Lord over your life. You have to acknowledge that, right? But a lot of young people, because they don't have a foundation, don't realize that, right? And so that is why we do what we do, right? Here in this family, right? I can't watch Lady Gaga at all. She's one of the biggest puppets in the industry. I remember she wore blood to the Grammys. Oh my! I remember that too. Child, they say she a witch. She definitely partakes in heavy rituals. Doja Cat is another one. Yeah, I seen a video of her one time doing this song in the middle of a Catholic church, and she was darn near naked. I was like, what in the world is going on? Right. So when it comes to the unveiling, I think that um more and more people are starting to see for the world for how it really is, in my opinion, right? And it is your right to choose, right? And so even though these things are being revealed to you, like I said, you still have a choice to go one way or the other, right? Her cologne has human blood in it. Oh my God, you read that before. Is that right, Dr. Corey? Oh my goodness. Child. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So anyway, all these entertainers worse than the people in the B sector. There's a lot of evil right here. There's a lot of, when it comes to this sector right here in particular, soul sister. The reason why I don't mind dwelling down here or with anybody, like I said, we are all sinners. No matter where you go, you don't even have to leave out your house anymore to partake in anything, right? You can do it right in the privacy of your own home, child. Okay, enter the internet, right? So, and I really believe that the age of the internet is part of the unveiling, right? Because, like I said, you still have a choice. Even though you are down here in the beef sector, the Bible says to be in the world and not of it, you know? And for me, that is the gray area part. In the world, but not of it, right? So, it took me when I was young, I couldn't realize, I didn't understand why. Now, my grandmama, I'm talking about my grandmama now, um, was a bona fide Christian woman. I'm talking about mother of the church. I'm talking about white nurse's dress, them thick white stockings with them nurse's shoes or orthopedic nurse shoes on, with her head covered, going woman, right? I did a live showing. They use melanin to make computer. Absolutely, that's why we disappear. And for a lot of other things, our organs, melanin is sold on the black, a whole lot. But you're right about that, Miss Creole. I absolutely agree. So anyway, where was I at? Yeah, my grandma, right? So my grandmama, for me, as I became an adult and realized what she was doing was she was living her truth with her personal walk, and she was in her gray area, right? And so, for me, my spiritual journey is a gray area, right? I will never, ever, ever be the first one to say that I will never, ever be perfect, right? But what I am not is a demon. That's what I am not. I do not blaspheme, and there are certain things that I do not do, okay, in my life, right? So, also, as I'm listening, to the pastor yesterday, I thought about an incident that happened to me, online, and I did not appreciate it. But I said, you know what? That is because you slipped up. You slipped up and fell for the okey doke when it came to your moral compass on this apparatus, right? So I mean, you think alike. It makes me chime. Oh, no problem, Miss Creole, no problem. And if you want to chime in, I hate that I didn't hit up the stream yard. I really do. And we still ain't I did our spiritual video with Creole either, child. So, like I said, I feel like the church's eyes are being opened. Like I really do. Especially when it comes to melanated people. They want you to be lost because they don't want you to realize who you are when it comes into the grand scheme of the Most High Creator. Now, I'm not talking about the grand scheme of the world, right? I'm talking about the grand scheme of the Most High Creator, especially when it comes to us that have been set apart from our homeland, right? I believe that our ancestors were chosen by the Most High Creator to be set apart in this foreign land, right? I believe it was for a reason, right? I believe that some of us are meant to be witnesses. I believe that some of us melanated people are the chosen, right? Meaning the part of the 144,000, right? I really believe that, right? I believe that, did I say watchers? Some of us are appointed to be watchers, right? Some of us are appointed to be watchers because we need to dictate what it is that we see or saw, like John, like Peter and John and a whole bunch of the other apostles, right? And so, after the unveiling, after the last war, when we are out in our heavenly bodies, I think that there still will be a record recorded, and those watchers and those chosens are the one that are picked to record. I truly believe that. That's my way of thinking. It's just me, y'all, right? And so, like I said, I believe that we were set apart for a reason. I believe that we are always under attack in this country for a reason, right? And I heard You hear people online when it comes to 47, upset about 47, right? And they say, and then they telling the truth about what 47 could do to our community, but they're not realizing that this is not the olden times. This is not, we are not our elders, we are not our ancestors. We are just as smart and smarter than a lot of the people that are quote unquote, running this country right now, and we will not lay down as easily as they are hoping that we will, right? Which is a battle within itself, right? You cannot say you want to do away with melanated people in this country, because not only do we have blood in the soil, right? But also you just can't move us around like you moved around the Jewish people in World War II, because pretty much we ain't going, right? We ain't going. See, they don't want you to talk, and I find it interesting that, when you get the movies, you got like 12 Years a Slave and Roots, all those slave movies, right? But I've never seen a movie except for one, and they don't even fool with him no more in Hollywood. Nate Parker, was that his name? Did the movie called The Birth of a Nation, and it was about what is that man's name? The one that led the rebellion on the Anglos, right? Nat Turner. And so they didn't want that movie to come out, but he did that movie. Now you really don't see him in Hollywood movies or TV anymore. You know why? Because he did that movie about rebellion. So when you're seeing all these movies about slavery and Jim Crow and whatnot, or what you're not seeing, or any movies about, we had a great many rebellions. Our people, rebelled and took up, arms and not really arms, because we didn't be to have none, picks, axes, and whatever, and fought back, right? And but you don't see any movies like that, right? So there's always will misinformation out there. Nothing that's in print. You got a point, soul sister, but they don't want to talk about that rebellion, right? The uprisings and stuff. They don't mind talking about our nonviolent protests. When our elders were protesting for civil and human rights, they don't mind talking about that. They don't mind talking about, but they don't like to talk about Malcolm X, right? They don't want to talk about the Deacons for Defense, right? They don't like to talk about the Black Panthers, right? They sure don't like to talk about Malcolm X, right? They don't like to talk about that, right? But see, like I said before, what they forgot to do, because these young people believe in nothing, they also forgot to make them fear non-melanated people, and because they don't fear non-melanated people, you cannot order somebody to go, your whole family to go in some kind of train course so they can be exterminated. Okay, they're not going to go willingly. So that's just how I feel about that. And I do believe that there will eventually be some kind of attempt to do something like that, right? And so, but you even got a people of like maybe Hispanic origin or something like, or even Anglo origin, non-melanated origin, that I've seen a couple of videos of them wanting to put fear in melanated people's minds. Talking about some, y'all speaking against the immigrants, but the same thing could happen to you. No, the same thing cannot happen to us. The same thing cannot happen to us melanated people in this country, simply because this country cannot run without us. It don't matter how much AI, you put out, this country still does not run without us. Okay? Our ancestors built this country with their blood, sweat, and tears, right? And it will remain so. Right? We did not ask to come here. Even the Statue of Liberty has to give a nod to the fact that our ancestors were forced here, because what do they call us? Something immigrants, what is that word that they call us on the Statue of Liberty? Um un Something immigrants, right? Meaning we came here not by our own choice, right? And so they have no fear. We grew up with a healthy fear. Exactly, Dr. Soapy, right? But because they have none, that is the first line of defense, right? And they forgot about that. They forgot to do that. They forgot to put the fear, right? So, but you still got your elders, Dr. Soapy, that remember, and if they will listen, you can that is your first line of defense, right? Like you got a when it comes to the Anglos, you always got your skinheads and your KKK and your what do they call it, the Proud Boys. You got them, right. So, but you also have a class of young black warriors as well, and they are not afraid. So I find it very interesting. So why you? My point is, why they trying to fearmonger, melanated people, honey? That don't work for us. We done been through Jim Crow. We done been through slavery. Slavery was so disastrous and devastating that it's encoded in our DNA. There's only so far that somebody is going to be afraid of being worried about whatever it is that they got going on with other people's right now. That is not us, okay? That will not be us. That's all I want to say. And I hope that young people are not fearing, not, falling for that nonsense. Because when the time comes for them to defend themselves, you best believe that is what they're going to do. Um, because they don't know any other way, right? So that's how I felt about that. But really, they are upset because a lot of melanated people are not taking up the fight. We are not on the front lines when it comes to certain social issues that's going on right now, and we're not supposed to be. Okay, and you got people upset because other especially young melanated people are saying that, hey, this is not our fight. Because you know what, it is not our fight. We do not have to always be on the front line. And also, not only are we don't have to be on the front line always, it is not appreciated. Because as soon as they get what they want, they turn their back on the melanated person anyway, right? So all of that is time for us. It's right. It's time for others. So we don't have nothing to do with that. We got to worry about our own, right? So all of that is part of the unveiling for you to see things as they are. Because when it comes to melanated people, your fight is actually a different type of fight. The front line for folks who wouldn't give us. That's right. That's right, Kendall. I always want you on the front line. Okay, for what? What do we get out of it? And I'm glad that our young people are realizing that. I don't see anything wrong with that. See, the point is, when it comes to and I've told y'all this, when it comes to every other, race and ethnicity on the planet, they always think about themselves first. It is only us melanated people that try to help out other people's causes before we help out our own cause, right? And so it's time we learn to help out. It's time we learn to worry about ourselves, right? First, the way that they worry about themselves first. You do not always have to be on the front line of somebody's plight when that plight is not yours, right? Please read my comment. Okay, you said facts. Then you said, right, Miss O. You said I'm good, love. You said, right? You said sorry, man. And you thinking like, what did you say? Who? Please read. Oh, Soul Sister said, please read my comment. Soul Sister said, I have great information about Black history. And that's another thing. If that's the one you want me to read, a lot of young people don't even realize anything about their Black history because it is not told to them, right? And so that is another tradition that we uphold around here. I have always told my nieces and my nephews and my great nieces and my nephews and my sisters and the older people in my family have as well. We always talk about our plight. We talk about Jim Crow. We talk about slavery. We talk about sharecropping. We talk about Reconstruction era. We talk about things of that nature. We talk about black economics. We talk about things of that nature because if you don't know how to move within the system. Now, you will never overthrow the system, but you can learn how to maneuver through the system, right? Go with one more. We must take care of things that are our community. That doesn't mean we don't care, but we must focus on us. It's right. It's about survival. Absolutely. And that is what every other a race or nationality does. Why don't we do that? We try to heal the world. That is not our place. Okay? Charity starts at home. All right? And so let me try to go up here and find Kendall's what she wanted me to read. Hold on, y'all. Kenna says, are these entertainers worse than is that the people in the B sector? Is that what you wanted me to? No, that's Soul Sister. That's not Kenna. Hold on. I don't see it. You might have to type it again, Kenna. If you want me to read it, just type it again. It's time for others to step up. The front line for folks wouldn't give us a nickel. I read that. Just write it again, baby. Soul Sister, I mean, just write it again. Hey, Miss Philadelphia, how you doing? So anyway, hey, Lady Tanya, how you doing? I really want to talk about the unveiling because, like I said, I really do believe that we are in the beginning of the end times, and that is why a lot of things are being revealed to us if we are really willing to look at it. You know what I mean? And even if you've never stepped a toe inside of a church, um, but you know that there is something greater than you, and you respect that, and you pay homage to that. The Most High sees that in you, right? Because I think that it is also just like the trauma of slavery is encoded in our DNA. We are hardwired to not only the universe but to the Most High. And the reason why I say we are hardwired to the Most High Creator is because of this melanin in our skin. Because melanin is not only in our skin, it is in the universe, it is in the ground, the very ground that you walk on. So you are hardwired to it. But it is your choice whether to accept it or not. It is not gonna be because you love. Hey, T Hollywood, I don't know what that means, but um that is what so sister, type it again. But that is what I want to talk about when I talked about the unveiling. I may come back and do another Revelation series, because it's been weighing heavy on me. Cause, I just like to get my version of things. Sometimes I haven't done it in a while. And that's why I want to talk about it today. I said the pastor brought it up in church yesterday, but he didn't expound on it enough for me, because there's only so much time, and it was a lot going on yesterday, but I want to expound on it with y'all a little bit when it comes to the unveiling, right? About your spiritual eyes being open, you know. What are you going to do with this information, right? Because it is your choice at the end of the day, right? Even when it comes down to something, since we're talking about the end times and the unveiling, right? I think it'll be very interesting when it comes a time that, when it comes a time for us to receive the mark of the beast, right? And then the mark of the beast. I think that is symbolism as well, right? And I think that what he meant by the mark of the beast is technology, right? That's really what and I think that if you don't have certain chips in you, or you're not willing to get certain types of chips in you, you won't be able to do things like buy groceries or buy gas or do everyday things, because you have to have this chip embedded in you. Now, would you be willing to have this chip embedded in you? Because if you got this chip embedded in you, you really don't know what they putting in you. You know what I mean? They're able to track you. Shoot, they could be able to blow you up on mobile at moment's notice if you want. That is AI taking over, right? So, or will you refuse something like that? I know it's a no for me. To have something like that put upon me. If that time ever comes for me, it will be a no for me. Okay. And we have to find, and because melanated people are so averse to, we are aware of medical apartheid. We are aware of being experimented on, in this country for centuries. We are aware of all those things, and I think for a lot of melanated people, the answer will be no. Yes, there will be probably a whole lot more that will say yes to it, but I think there will be those of us that will say no. because we don't want to deal with anything like that. Like, why would you, right? If y'all please double tap that eye looking at y'all and give me a like. If you haven't already, I appreciate it. We can grow if we don't know, right? But all I can do is give it, right? But if people don't want it, that will keep us back. Well, like that goes to, God giving us free will, soul sister. Because once you say it, once you put it out there, it's up to the person that you say it to do what they will with it. So all you can do is put it out there. Like I said, I'm in a gray area. I dropped some gems wrapped around some shade. But it will still be a gem, and it'll be up to you if you catch it or not. It's the gray area. That's duality. That's concerning the veil. In my opinion, I also think it's a trick. When you will listen to people tell you that you have to be a certain type of way, you have to be be perfect to be a Christ follower. That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life. You know what I mean? But what you don't need to be is blasphemous, okay? And we see a lot of blasphemous demons leading people around the wrong path, and you see a lot of blasphemous demons on the screen being paid to remain blasphemous. Okay, and it's beyond me, but it is what it is. It's a sign of the times. It's a sign of spiritual warfare. It's another peek through the veil. In my opinion, and we see it every day over here in this sector. Okay, because I think it is these demons are reigning free. It's their time right now, right? It's their time, and it is what it is. It's their time. And things are only going to get worse. You know, And so I think that certain, even political figures are put into place for this reason, right? They think it's for their good, but it's for, it's really in an effort to spearhead, make even stronger the spiritual warfare that's going on. And that's what I think it's for, right? I get more of internet. I get more of international people who watch on what I post, but the beef sector people won't watch. Just saying. I mean, I don't know, so sister. A lot of people. Some people, pretty much everybody, come online for a little bit of mind numbing entertainment. They don't want to think about the reality of the situations that's going on in their world, as it pertains to them. So they watch a little mindless entertainment. Then you got people like us that no matter if we coming on here for and I do too come on for mindless entertainment sometimes, but when I'm doing my videos, a lot of the times I would drop some real information, right? Like today we're talking about real biblical information, right? So for me, it'll go back and forth, because I really can't always talk about mess, because I'm really not interested in, and I'm not invested, in the mess to the point to where I can't think of nothing else. Now, I don't think that I would ever, my mind can't be totally invested in the mess to the point to where I can't think about nothing else. So I'll be online all day, 24 hours a day, can't sleep, can't eat, can't none of that, because I got to be listening to the mess. See, I'm not the type of person that can move that way. Do you see what I'm saying? But there are a lot of people that choose to move that way, and that's absolutely up to them. They absolutely have that right to do that. If they want to do that, that's on them. But that's not me. So that's why I'm able to come on here and drop my gems the way I want to drop my gems. It is what it is. But anyway, and then plus two, soul sister, you got to realize that sometimes you can't reach the masses because the masses ain't wanting to hear, unfortunately, a lot of what is really going on, because not only is the spiritual eye blind, but they can't hear, what the spirit is saying to the church, either because they are refusing it, or because it is not their time. So if you get one person that hears it, and believes in it and want to search out more, that is a good thing. If you get one person to understand or even consider, that is a good thing, because you can't save everybody, but if you can manage to do something in the life of one person, that's a wonderful thing. That's the way I look at it. There's a story about a black woman who invented the first dual camera. Is that right? I'm not even surprised. Yeah, I seen this story online about the a black man that he is the first one that really invented the they perfected it, but he invented the what do you call those things that go around in the sky? I'm in the early 1900s. What do you call those things? Those flying robot thingies. But he did that back in the 70s. I forget. I can't think of the name of them right now. But they say he invented that back in the 70s, and it was a black man. And I was like, interesting. I'm not even surprised. And so because our melanin gives us those types of things, And I talk about the black woman that wrote the Matrix, that is steeped in spiritual symbolism, right? It is revolutionary. It is revelationary, you know. And even when she's talking about the red pill or the blue pill, that's you having a choice, right? That's you having free will. And so it's a lot of symbolism out here, and some people take it as only entertainment, but it's actually spiritual symbolism, trying to give you a sign, trying to lift a veil from your face, trying to tell you what is really going on in this world, you know. And so yeah, Jill said, "Who's taking the blue pill?" I heard that, Jill. But yeah, even when it comes to the red pill and the blue pill, good and evil. The red signifying the blood. The blue, I don't even know if they got it switched around and I can't think about which one is going to, but yeah, symbolism, right? This world is steeped in symbolism. But I find it interesting, like I said, how the Pope done passed away the morning after Resurrection Day, and they get ready to have a funeral and a conclave thing. Child, a funeral and a conclave. I said, well, ain't this very interesting? When it comes to this Catholic religion, I'm like, child, I'm back. Had to warm my food. Smooches all. I been. I heard that Creole. But yeah, honey, they finna make a grand scene out of the funeral, and then they're gonna have the conclave. We just seen it. There's a movie called Conclave. If y'all didn't see it, I believe it's on Peacock right now. It's how they go about choosing a new pope, right? And I watched that movie, and I said, "Well, will you look at this right here?" I'm not even gonna tell y'all what I was saying in my head about this. Oh Lord! But child, the pope that they chose in this movie Conclave, I'm gonna give y'all the spoiler because if y'all ain't watched it now, y'all ain't gonna watch it. But the pope there was a whole lot of politics, you know, and there was one pope trying to do what he can, to buy off people, making all these promises to the other pope that he gonna do this, that, and the other when it comes to the church, and but he had been stealing money or something like that, right? You saw that movie Creole, and it was good, right? For what it was worth, it was a good movie, right? So then you had this pope that showed up out of nowhere. They didn't even know he was a pope, but he had been ordained by the pope, right? I mean, they didn't know he was what do you call it? One of them pope pastors, whatever you call them, right? And so, but he had been ordained by the pope. He was from one of these, war torn countries, right? Well, come to find out that preacher man right there, I forget what you call him, right? But he was a hermaphrodite, right? He looked like a man, but he had female organs, right? And so, well, come to find out, they wanted to choose him because he was the most godly of the whole, of all the popes that were being nominated, right? And there was this one black guy, he was supposed to be pope, but he got set down because it was exposed that he had got a young girl pregnant, under the age of 18, and they flew her into the conclave. Child, it was a whole bunch of drama. And I said, look what they did to the black pope, child. Got him fooled around with a young black girl at the time, and he got a whole baby by her. I'm saying, oh, okay, but you didn't put in there about them popes. So what do they call them people? Them pastors? I forget what they call them. Whatever they call them. Fooling with them little boys and stuff like they do allegedly, right? I have to say allegedly, but we done seen a lot of it, right? But you get him, so he got set down by that. But the one they chose was a hermaphrodite. I said, okay. And and they say that church, as it really is about our church, they're very misogynistic, and what would people think about, about, a woman, a half woman leading the church, becoming the pope. But child, that's who they chose. And they even had said that that person right there, that pastor right there had thought about getting the female organs removed and all this here and all that there, but it looked like a man, but it had female parts. So the one that they chose was a man and a woman. I said, well, what kind of what in the world? I said, honey, I was like, oh my goodness. But it was good to see the way that the Catholic, well, child, they so full of dick. Baby, them Catholics, And then that whole, I don't even see how people, you got millions of people, millions and millions. I think it's the most popular religion, right? And millions of people, and they are practicing Catholics. And you go to this man in a box, and you tell him your sins, and he give you repentance, do 5 Hail Marys, and you absolved of your sin. I'm thinking, wait, hold up, wait a minute. So you going to a man, you praying to a man, and he gonna give you a repentance, 5 or 6 Hail Marys, and you absolve your skin. So, but Jesus said he is the intercessor. Jesus said no man goes to the Father but through me. But in the Catholic Church, so he the intercessor. Before you get to Jesus, you got to go through the priest. That's what you call him, priest, right? Before the intercessor between you and God is the priest. I'm saying, make it make sense. So, sister, everyone have a blessed day. Going to have a good day, so sister, and thanks for dropping down. Yeah, I find it very interesting about the Catholic Church. Very interesting indeed. I'm thinking, well, aren't they supposed to be going through Jesus instead of you? So you don't want them to have a personal relationship with God. You want them to have a personal relationship with you, and you supposed to have a personal relationship with God. I'm thinking, oh, okay. You see how weird that is? But I don't get that little part right there. But very interesting. But anyway, I guess that's what they finna do now, child. I guess that's what they finna do. Them Catholics. I don't understand their religion. Maybe it ain't for me to understand. you know. And so, yeah, maybe them demons. Well, what? Okay, then they said that Pope, he was practicing Catholicism on the outside because he was the Pope, but he was worshiping some kind of other lower G God, some form of voodoo, if you will, in the background. But they said they all do that in that Catholic Church. They say they worship their man-made version of religion up front to the world, but then they go down below in them crypts and tombs and worship other lower G gods and also other demons and principalities and things of that nature. And that's the reason why that if you want to call it a church, it's so popular in the world. And that's part of the veil being pulled over a lot of people's eyes, because I ain't never heard of you having to pray to a man instead of praying to Jesus the Christ, your own self. Okay. I'm thinking, wait, what? But okay. Okay. I think the Pope and priest should get married, but just saying, Catholics, please don't come for me. I just don't believe in that religion right there at all. I think it's demonic. I don't care if they come for me or not. I don't believe in it at all. I find it interesting to say that the least that a man would dedicate his entire life to the church with no intimate relations. Well, see, and then how you know? Just cause he said so. You know what I mean? How do you know that he never had no intimate, relations? I guess just cause he said so, right? And what would be wrong if he had consenting intimate relation? Now I'm not talking about this perverted, demonic, ritualistic stuff, that they have been accused of in that church, but like between consenting adults, what would be wrong with that? I don't find anything wrong with that. Between consenting adults now, okay, not no weird stuff that they be talking about going on. But consenting adults, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But that's just me. You know. Yeah, absolutely, Kenna. I mean, hey, And then I heard that isn't it true that some priests actually have wives and of that and things of that nature. Some of them are married. That's what I heard anyway. I could be wrong, but I heard that some of them are married. Child, that's what I heard. But anyway, yeah, they say he passed away, early in the morning. After resurrection, Sunday, and then I really don't know what went on or what was said between him and the vice president of this country. I don't know what that was about, but that vice president, he looked weird anyway. So, child, but they say there's a lot of conspiracy theories get ready to be spun around about that right there in particular. But I have to look that up because I really don't know. I didn't even know anything about the vice president going to speak with the Pope. I missed that whole thing. Like I said, I was busy this weekend. You know. And so, well, we almost made it to 100 likes. If you new and you haven't, could you double tap that eye looking back at you to give me a like, a thumbs up on this video, please? I realize it ain't many people in right now because other people are talking about other things. But if you still in here listening, thank you so much. Thank you. You know. He met the VP, and the next day the Pope passed. That's what I heard. Yeah, the VP looks like he wore his eyeliner. He looked like he wore. I think it's because his lashes is so thick. Them eyes look crazy to me, Ken. I'm glad you mentioned that. It's in the eyes. To me, the madness is in them eyes. Okay. Yes, it is. The madness is in them eyes, child. I be like, ooh, look at it. You can tell it's a demon. Okay. I was like, child. And then he the VP, but first, he did those videos years ago against 47, and now here he is sitting on the right hand of 47. I said, if this ain't some chicanery, I don't know what is. The whole thing is weird. Okay. But anyway, I guess the world will be watching. When it comes to this funeral and the conclave. I guess those Catholics will be, all, in tune for that sort of thing. But yeah, I guess we have to wait and see. You know, but as far as the resurrection day, um, this year, I think it was still steeped in symbolism. I was like, okay, everything from 420 day to the Pope passing away to whatever else was going on. I was like, child, if this ain't an unveiling going on here, okay, if this ain't a lifting of the veil, a very good example of it, I don't know what is. I had to come on and talk about it, okay? And I know folks don't like to listen to these real conversations on here, but y'all, I had to come on and talk about it. What I should have did was another video. But I was like, well, let me, honey, give it an all-in-one, because, child, it just is. If he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church, okay? All right. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man shall hear my voice and open the door, then I will come in. So that's the reason why I went on and talked about it on this video, okay? Yes, honey. And Jay Wilson, Reverend Dr. Jay Wilson, child, you be singing all off key. What is wrong with that falsetto, okay? You are even confused, honey, when you are singing, okay? I do not understand you and that dang on obnoxious falsetto of yours, okay, child? Child, excellent line, Miss O. I feel your Cancerian energy with. Oh, thank you, Obadi. Oh, did you, girl? Thank you, Obadi Isis. You a best, child. You a best, but thank you for that. That's all right. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. Sure do. That's an excellent honey. Okay, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. LOL. It's the consumption of food and trying to talk. Oh, Ken. Um, Ooh, child, that's almost the most blasphemous thing that he do. Oh Lord, why he be chewing coffee? I told you he done ate that Ozempic, child. Yes, I did. But then they still put some meat on the grill because it's been so warm. It's been in the 80 around here for days. It's a little cloudy out here today, but it's still warm. But they slapped some meat on that grill anyway. Uh, they just had a good day yesterday. I've been Almighty. I said I've been in the clouds. Oh, thank you, Almighty. I says thank you, thank you. What up, Kenna? You ain't speaking, huh? Jill said you ain't speaking, Kenna. Cause y'all know Jill really don't be playing around here. Okay. Okay, she really don't be playing around here. Hey, Jills, what's new? I didn't see you, boo. I am multitasking. I know that's right, Ken. I'm gonna get off here right now. I can't believe I made it this long. But anyway, speaking of which, I am getting ready to go. Okay, I didn't mean to talk this long, but thank you guys so much for coming in. And if you stayed for the whole live, thank you. If you missed anything, please be part of the replay gang, honey. Okay. Please be part of the replay gang. Child, it's a Monday, Jill and Kenna. We all got stuff to do. Okay, child. I'm no joke, says, have you been hearing the updates on Wendy Williams? I have been trying to keep up with them, and I need to do a video. I'm no joke about Wendy. You know what I mean? I do, because y'all know I'm a Wendy fan forever. You know? I know that's right, Kenna. Jills, you know how it is for us. Oh, got that right, Kenna, for real. That's the real right there. Child. She said, I'm not old, honey. Child, okay. You only are as old as you feel. Okay. I know that's right. But anyway, we got a little messy. We did a little beat sector history. We did a little we did a lot of talking about the unveiling, and the apocalypse, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it, right? But it's crazy about the judge doing what I know. I'm no joke. I'm about to come back and talk about it, right? Jill's conversation. I'm perfectly. Speaking of not perfect, I'm perfectly baked, Jill. It would appear to me that a certain somebody is kind of losing it. Now, thank you, Doctor Soapy. You have been a lifeline for me this morning. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, all of y'all, so much. Okay. And please share the video. And please hit the like button on your way out the door. And please, be part of the replay, gang. It'd be a lot going on. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Sober Child. You was there for me this morning. I was like, oh, Lord, I was getting all confused because I had my stuff all jumbled up because you know how you be thinking about more than one thing at a time. It'd be a lot going on in my head, right? So, let me get off of here, child. So, I love you guys in the way that Christ loves you. You guys check out my product tag bag, okay? Because it's in honor of a certain somebody. Makeup challenge, previous makeup channel, a challenge, a piece of beef sector history's makeup challenge, right? That is what the product tag bag is in honor of. Y'all go check it out. See if there's some things in there that you like, you know. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna talk. You guys have a nice rest of your day, right? And I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Thank you all that helped me out, especially you, Dr. Soapy. And I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye bye. Peace.